Hello friends, Lee here from TableTop Bong. Thanks for joining me. In this video, we're going to kick back, vape a few bowls, and open the conversation about mind-body connection. I know this is a huge topic. I get that, 10 or 15 minute video can't really do much justice to this. But I'll tell you what, I've been involved in researching, studying, and actively working with mind-body connection for about 25 years now. It's something I'm super passionate about, much like I am when it comes to the vaporizers, the bongs, the entire weed industry. How it all ties together for me is the energy of it, right? That's where I'm really focused more than anything else in this world, is on the energy of things. I can't help it. I can't get enough of understanding the energy and being, intrigued and curious about things. So this is where weed comes in, because we can use weed to adjust and change our energy. We can make a conscious decision to change our entire mood and physiology based on what we inhale, right? That's a pretty powerful thing. So we really have a lot of control over our energy that we don't understand that we have, because we can manipulate it in these kinds of ways. So this is, it all kind of folds in together, in my opinion. So let's talk mind-body connection, and let's vape a couple of bowls. So today I'm vaping with the Vapor Brothers VB 1.5. I've changed my recording space. So for those of you who are subscribed to my channel and have watched lots of my videos, you're used to seeing the 1.5 glowing in the background of my videos, and it was pointed out to me from one of my fun and playful subscribers that it's not glowing in the background now. So I thought, let me pull it out. Let's enjoy the VB 1.5 during this video. I keep this thing on my desk where I work the majority of my time. So it's always there and it's always on, and that's where that's where I was recording before, and that's why I was always glowing in the background. So let's just get in and have a rip on this. Cheers. Today I'm using the TableTop Bong in natural maple finish with black posts and a heady glass downstem in here. I love the maple and black together. It's such a beautiful look. I mean, no, it's not going to be for everybody, but I love it personally. I like the contrast of the light and the dark together. All right, so let's get into mind-body connection. What's happening when less than positive things happen? I mean, let's face it, that's probably the topic that we should talk about first with mind-body connection, right? There's so many things we could talk about, but let's just take a simple topic and we'll break it apart for 5 minutes or so. So let's say, if we're going to talk about mind-body connection, let's pretend for a minute that you woke up on Saturday morning and your left knee all of a sudden hurts. Right? Like this happens on a pretty regular basis to people, doesn't it? Right? Like, honestly, it makes no sense sometimes, the aches, pains, or disease that we have in our body, but it still occurs, and we go, wow, where did this even come from? What did I do yesterday? I sat at my desk, I didn't even move. How did I hurt my knee? Nothing makes any sense about it, right? These things happen all the time to people. And you go, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I need something for my knee. It hurts. And then you go and you get a bunch of tests, and the doctor says, yeah, I can't really find anything wrong with it. I'm not sure why it's hurting you. And you go, yeah, this is just the darndest thing, isn't it? And they say, okay, well, here's some painkillers, and here's some anti-inflammatories, and here's this, and here's that. We'll manage the symptoms. We can't find the catalyst to the problem. Sorry about your luck. Here you go. Good luck. That's kind of what happens, right? You know how many people are living in that kind of a space? So we're going to talk about that one thing real quick and talk about what's happening. All right, so here's what I have surmised through my research, and more importantly, quite honestly, a lot of this was explained to me through meditation, and then I researched and tested the theories that were explained to me in meditation to verify the facts. Because of course, even when I'm provided with information in meditation, like everybody, sometimes I have a hard time believing it too. Right? To think that you go into meditation and all of a sudden you just have all this wisdom that you didn't have before you started to meditate. It's a tough one to believe sometimes, right? So then you have to test, and you've got to put That's what I do anyway. Sometimes I put it to the test, especially when it's things like information about body-mind connection, things like that, how things are working. I investigate the information. I don't just take it for face value, even though I've learned now I can. But I'm an investigative kind of guy. That's me. I'm super curious. I want to play around with things. I want to take it apart and put it back together, and I want to see what I can do with it in the meantime. So here's what's been shown to me. Okay, so it all starts, and this is going to sound funny, but follow me on this for a minute, and I'll break it all down for you. It all starts with our brain glitching. We all have one thing that happens in our brain, every single person. This is just part of being human. It's the human condition. This is not a matter of strength or intelligence. We all go through it. We can glitch. There's a thing that happens in our brain that can glitch us. Now you think, okay, let's hear more about this glitch. I'll break it down for you. This is, okay, so stay with me just for a minute here, okay? We have to go into the parts of the brain just for a second to understand how the glitch works. So I'm going to make this super fast and super simple. We have two parts of our brain that we're going to talk about today, the conscious and the unconscious, or subconscious, whatever you like. I use the term unconscious versus subconscious. So that's what I'm going to refer to from here on out, is unconscious versus subconscious. Same idea though. So the conscious part of our mind, the way I envision it, is up front here in our forehead. Kind of an idea, right? And this is where we're processing thoughts. If our brain is a computer, this is the processor. If our brain is a computer, the unconscious, the back of the mind, is the hard drive. Now, each part of the computer has a job. The back of the mind, its job is twofold. One, to keep us safe and alive. And two, to store information. Every last sensory input in your life experience is stored in the hard drive of your unconscious mind. It can be accessed even though you don't actually consciously remember. Every last thing. You name it, if it's happened in your life, if you've been exposed to it, it is stored in this part of your mind. So it really does gain a lot of information and becomes this massive database of understanding. Okay, so now, as we move through the world, these two things, they operate together. Okay, so you encounter a situation, your unconscious mind grabs a memory of when you've encountered this in the past, gives it to the processor, and the processor says, oh yeah, in the past we did this. Oh, I know what to do with this situation. And you just move through your day, and all this is happening completely automatically, right? You don't even have to think about it. It's pretty cool. So now what happens? What's the glitch? Well, let me tell you what the glitch is. The glitch is when you don't have something in the program or the hard drive of the back of your mind, and it happens in front of you in a shocking way. Everybody, I don't care who you are, will do the same thing. We've probably all seen it as well. You give somebody a piece of news, or you give them something they're not expecting. Even a large gift on someone's birthday can glitch them. So think about a time when somebody's looked shocked, when they go, and then they speak, right? And then they can come forward. In that time when they're moving backwards, that their body is physically moving backwards. They're moving away from whatever the thing is that just was delivered to them. They're moving back because they need, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Their brain is actually glitching for a second. So what happens in that glitch is your unconscious, the back of your mind, it can't find anything. So it comes up empty and it throws an alert. Boop, boop, boop. No info, no info, no info. Okay, that's what's happening in the back of your brain. So then the unconscious has to quickly, okay, and you're doing this. When the boop, 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 no info, when that's happening, you're doing this. And then your unconscious kicks in and says, okay, I can't stay in the suspended state. What is the closest thing that has ever happened or has ever been exposed to me? What's the closest thing in this program? Let's spit that forward and see if it works out. Okay, so that's the glitch. Now I'm going to tell you, I've done a tremendous amount of hypnosis training. I am mastery level hypnotist at this point in time. I don't know if there's even a hypnosis program out there that's high level that I haven't done. I absolutely love the understanding of how these things work. So when I want to put somebody into a state of hypnosis and I want to do it in, say, 5 to 7 seconds, I use the glitch, right? It's what they call a shock induction. So I will just take somebody's hands and I'll do a little thing with it, and then I'll snap in their ear and say the word sleep. And what happens? That happens. Because when I glitch them, whatever you say next, it goes right into the unconscious. It bypasses the conscious thought. You're processing it, bypasses it completely because you're glitched. So if you get a piece of information at the same time as you're glitched, your brain just does it. So I glitch somebody, and right as they're glitched, I say sleep. So and down they go. They're not actually asleep, but their mind has been told what to do. And I got it before it found that new piece of information. And this happens to us. So okay, so that's the glitch. Now let me load another bowl. This is getting pretty deep, isn't it? Wow, I didn't expect to get so deep on this topic so quickly. But I am so passionate about this, guys. And I've used my understanding and learning after having that massive heart attack and being told I would be a cardiac cripple. That was less than a year ago. I had that near-death experience. I was told I would be a cardiac cripple for life, not to really expect to have any kind of life again. I'm 100% recovered because I understand this stuff. And I know that that's not maybe going to work that way for everybody, and I'm not making claims that it will. But I'm saying in my personal life experience, because I have a deep understanding of this, I have been able to heal myself in ways that medicine can't understand. So it's a super passionate topic for me. All right, so now we have to circle back. Oh man, that's so tasty. Okay, so let's circle back. What does this glitch have to do with your random sore knee, right? I really have jumped all over the place so far. All right, I'm going to tie it all together right here, right now, though, and you're going to go, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so we'll make up a situation that we can use as an example. Okay, so, all right. Let's say a traditional married couple is happy appearing in their marriage. And then all of a sudden, one day, one of the two partners comes home and looks at the other partner and says, I don't love you anymore. I want a divorce. Okay, so the partner who's hearing that information, they're not expecting that information at all. Or if you find out that your partner is having an affair when you have an arrangement of monogamy, for instance, and you really, truly, implicitly trust that person and can't see why they would ever stray from the arrangement that's been made without having a conversation first. So then you find out this piece of information about your partner and you're not expecting it. You're going to do this. While you glitch, you're going to look for the piece of information that is as close as possible that you've been made familiar with in your life experience, and it's going to bring it forward. Now, one other thing happens at this point in time. As that happens, your unconscious mind, that glitch, it creates a ball of energy that doesn't work like the rest of the energy in your body. So it's going to move through your body, and the very first place you have a chink in your armor. So let's say you gave your knee a tiny twinge and didn't even really notice it. Not even enough to remember it, but it created this small little chink in the armor, so to speak. That energy that is now created from being glitched will attach itself to that spot of your body and will begin to be annoying. It will bug and bug you to get your attention so that you will address it and you will process the energy. Because when you glitch, that energy ball, it's unprocessed energy. That's why it's stuck. You didn't complete the process with that piece of energy because you didn't have the information. Okay, well, that's good to know, right? Like, now we know there's some stuck energy. It's actually stuck energy, a trapped emotion, however you want to see it. It's going to be right. It's the same basic idea, and it's stuck there. And then it's like making one car stall out in the middle of a busy freeway. The traffic will still move around it. Your energy will still move through your body, right? Like, it will still move in all these fun and funky directions all through your body. Except when it gets, say your glitch is here. Let's say your energy ball stuck right here, and your energy wants to move past it. It gets to it, has to go around. Every time it's got to go around. And then you fill your body with some of these things. And now all of a sudden you got a bum knee and you got a slightly sore back and your elbow bugs you every time it rains. And you go to the doctor, you have all kinds of tests, and none of it makes any physical sense. It's because you have all this unprocessed energy from getting glitched through your life and you didn't go back and fix it. So how do you fix it, right? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it, right? How does one fix unprocessed energy that is manifesting as disease or discomfort in the physical body? You have to find a way to honor it. Honestly, I can tell you 100,000 different ways that you could go about it, and they will all work if you're doing one simple thing, which is honoring the actual situation. Inside each and every one of those situations that glitch you is a positive and healthy message for you, even though it may be covered up in pain and it may be covered up in a negative situation or something that feels less than positive for sure. There's still something healthy and positive in it for you, and your body is holding that information until your mind can get it. So how do we go about that? We have to honor it. So how I would help a person honor that particular situation where their person came home and said, I don't love you anymore. I want a divorce. I would have them enter that from that other person's point of view, quite honestly. I would have them imagine all the angst that that other person must have gone through and how much disharmony must be occurring in that other person to have lived that level of lie for so long. Because that doesn't happen overnight, right? It doesn't happen overnight. So if a person is living that type of a lie and eventually over a period of time they finally come to their partner and say, this is it. Okay, it's a shock moment for the person hearing it, but the person delivering it has gone through something really traumatic to get to that point. If you only look at your own personal energy and how it's stuck and you don't consider the entire energy of the situation, you're never going to understand all that you need to know. You can't process the energy without the entire information. So if you sit and you consider what that other person had gone through before they even got there, and you let yourself get out of the way for a minute and forget about you for a minute and think about them and them alone. Imagine what that partner must have gone through. The angst, the loneliness, the deception that they must feel guilt for, all of it, knowing that they're going to blow up this beautiful relationship that just doesn't work for them, all of it has to be so traumatic for that person. So if you want to process the energy of the situation and you realize all of a sudden that that person who delivered that piece of information to you was so incredibly vulnerable and already emotionally drained and broken before they came to you, what they must have gone through, all of a sudden, the sting you feel, it begins to diminish a little bit, doesn't it? And maybe you don't want to forgive them, and maybe you don't want to forget about it. But it's pretty hard not to imagine. If you're sitting in their thoughts from the first person, it's pretty hard to be mad at that person anymore. When you realize it could have just as easily been you, for instance, right? They probably didn't pick it. And you come to learn these things while you sit in these moments. And you really dissect it from the opposite angle. And then you can look at how it's coming to you, as opposed to how it feels inside you. then you get the lesson. It's right in there. And if you visualize yourself accepting and letting go of the pain that the glitch and the situation has caused you, and you say to yourself, now I have the positive and healthy message that I was supposed to receive from this all along. All right, thank you. Your energy will begin to correct itself, and in a matter of a day or two, you might just notice that wonky knee pain, it vanished. And it seems like, yeah, that couldn't have been it. But guess what? When you see it over and over and over, and you help people do that on a regular basis, you begin to realize there are certain things that have a consistent outcome. And honoring the times when we get glitched really does make a big, big difference for having a positive and healthy mind-body connection. All right, I'm not going to dive any deeper than that. Wow, that's way deeper than I thought I was going to go. But you know what? I'm sure there's somebody out there that needs to understand this. And just before I wrap it up, I'm going to explain to you guys, I want to show you this book. Okay, it's called Metaphysical Anatomy by Yvette Rose. And this book is so brilliant. What it does is it breaks down for you. If you have a physical sensation like, let's say, back pain that you can't understand, and you research in this book, you look up back pain, it will tell you exactly what you were feeling emotionally when the back pain began, and emotionally what led to this ongoing back pain. And it also offers a strategy for releasing this level of trapped energy. This book is something I have used so regularly for a number of years. It is the single most brilliant piece of written information, I think, in the world, in my opinion. It's magic. I have yet to see somebody research in this book a particular thing, like, for instance, fibromyalgia is a big one. There's 3 or 4 pages breaking down exactly what fibro is and how to deal with it. I'm not an affiliate. I'm not making any money from this. This has just been an absolute massive part of my life for a number of years. Yvette Rose, the woman who wrote this book, this is purely inspired. Purely. I recommend this to anybody who is struggling with ongoing health issues. This book will really help you see things from a completely different angle, and it might offer you an opportunity to find some emotional, energetic, and spiritual freedom from the pain that exists in your life. So I wanted to take the opportunity to show that book to you guys. You can grab it on Amazon. Most places, most countries have it on Amazon. I don't know, in Canada, I think it was about $65 or $60. I know it's not the cheapest book available, but I'm going to tell you something. It's something that will change your life. It absolutely opened my eyes. It confirmed so many things that I had learned along the way, and it just confirmed it and put it into this organized method that I had been thinking about how it would be to organize that, and then I found that resource. And I thought, oh goodness me, now I don't have to be the one to do that, because I think it's so essential that the information is in the world. All right, there you go, guys. I know this is probably going to create more questions than answers. And you know what? That's a little bit of the point. Let's dig in and understand all healing is self-healing. Whether it's done through medicine or spiritual means or energetic means, you've chosen to heal yourself by taking the action to heal. All right, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and really, I hope you got something out of this. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this. Until next time, take care.